Coming up in the news tonight, the acting director of labor optimistic about a turnaround in the economy. Residents touting the benefits of trading currency. And the Abaco Christian Council having a change of heart regarding the upcoming memorial. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, as the country continues to battle the COVID-19 pandemic, more Bahamians are being sent to the unemployment line. Tonight, as more layoffs are possible on the island, the acting director of labor is expressing optimism that the economy will turn around soon. Italia Hall reports.
The acting director of labor, John Pinder, says the entire country has suffered a major blow due to the COVID-19 pandemic, especially the tourism sector, leaving many without a job. The director confirming that he has received letters from several companies on Grand Bahama, including some of the major companies within the industrial sector,
indicating that they're unable to sustain the complement of staff at this time. And in some cases, they would have scaled down. In other cases, they would have shut down and lay off persons for the specified 12 weeks. That 12 weeks has expired. And for the most part, those 12 weeks expired on the 15th of June. Persons then have to make a decision as to whether or not they can reopen, or if the government will allow them an extension to continue on the layoff period for a longer period of time.
but he says he does see this situation turning around once visitors are allowed to return to the island.
The government is showing signs of opening the economy based on the reports coming from the Prime Minister in his Sunday's address. So there are signs that the Bahamas economy is about to open. But even in the Bahamas economy opening, the shores have open to the extent that the international flights are able to bring tourists. So I believe there's some sign of that happening even with the United States. Maybe it's safe to say by midsummer.
To those who are unemployed, the director says you must use this time wisely. And for persons who are employed, he had this bit of advice.
It ain't gonna be business as usual. I believe for the most part, we got to play dual roles in the organization in which we work. So this clear job description may be going on in the window. You may find yourself having to carry on more than one task to keep yourself employed when this thing goes away.
He says he believes that emphasis will be placed on digital jobs.
So persons who are not computer literate, I think it's time for them to try to, as best they can, sharpen their skills. There are opportunities around the world where you can actually pick up a employer and still be in the Bahamas doing work for them. There's some courses you can do online to give you an opportunity to be able to meet that criteria.
Pinder says more Bahamians need to get involved in the healthcare sector, farming, and fishing industries.
I think too often we allow ourselves to just depend on buying the fish rather than us learning how to throw the line or getting into the fishing industry. There's talk about miles and miles of water that needs to be fished by Bahamians, and we're not taking advantage of it. So I would like to encourage them to, look at these things.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Meanwhile, Bahamians are being encouraged to take advantage of a lucrative business, one that experts say has been proven to survive past economic crisis around the world. Jay Philippe has more.
Forex is the exchange of foreign currency. For many persons, the currency trading industry may seem complicated, but according to David Hoyt, president of GJ Pip Walking, Forex trading is very simple. David says many Bahamians should consider capitalizing on an opportunity to generate extra cash, especially during a time like this when many people are at home due to stay-at-home orders and weekend lockdowns.
You could actually, stay at home and log onto your computer or use your cell phone on a daily basis. The market is open from Sunday to Friday, every single day, 24 hours, and you can jump on and trade from home. You can trade, sitting in the office, wherever you're at, on the beach. You could actually jump and analyze the market and jump in a trade and make money just from that.
The master trader says unlike stock markets, which can trace their roots back centuries, the Forex market is a fairly new market to the average trader.
People do it on a daily basis when you're traveling. All right, so for example, if you're going to a different country, you can't spend the Bahamian dollar in the United States. So most people, you have to go to the banks and exchange the Bahamian dollar into the US dollar. And when you make that exchange, you have to pay an exchange rate fee. If you go into Great Britain, you have to change it into the pound. If you go into Japan, you have to change it into the yen. So when you're exchanging it from the Bahamian dollar or any currency from one currency to another, you get an exchange rate that you have to pay. So what we're doing is just showing you how to do it digital on your cell phone and on your laptop.
According to David, who now considers himself as an expert trainer, the Forex trading industry is user-friendly as long as you have the basic requirements.
I've had people I've trained as young as 21 and as old as 78. If you can actually count to 10 and add and subtract, you can trade. I mean, copy and paste. If you can send a text message on the phone, you can jump in a trade. It's just adding and subtracting 10, calculating the numbers you're going to put in your phone, and you can plug the trade in and make money.
Rashad Thompson, a frequent user of Forex trading, says using the trading platform has been beneficial for him.
It's more of having another source of income. It's very easy. Once you have access to internet, as simple as a tablet, smartphone, instead of going on Facebook, you actually can make money, actual money to help out with the bills, groceries, and a lot of stuff. Because I know a lot of persons are on reduced hours, and some have lost their jobs. This right here could fill in the gap and make everyone's life a little bit comfortable. Even right now, as David previously said, I have my 7-year-old. Once you could basically count from 1 to 10, add and subtract, it comes fluent, comes very, very easy. So on my downtime when I'm home, when I wake up 2-3 o'clock in the morning and can't sleep, I go in the market and I try to make extra money, and it's very, very helpful.
Before getting into Forex trading, David lived in Dallas, Texas as a district manager for an insurance company for 12 years, and that's when he was introduced to the foreign exchange market.
Once I, realized, how beneficial it was after 3 months of actually learning, I just took full force in basically learning the skill set. I mean, there was, moments where, some days I would make my yearly salary in 2-3 days. So when I was able to see the benefit of, being financially, free by making money from my cell phone and laptop, I just decided to go full time.
David says since then, he has never looked back. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the government of the Bahamas getting high marks for its handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. An editorial in the Jamaica Observer notes the approach and attitude the Bahamas has taken to wrestling the virus, one it says Jamaica can learn from as it faces the tough decisions that must be made now. The article considers the fact that the Bahamas is looking at a July 1st reopening, with the Prime Minister stressing that such a decision could be put off if need be. The Bahamas government has developed a multi-phased approach to reopening the economy, with a complete shift to phase 2 in the works. The article credits the Bahamas with doing all of this while recovering from the devastating impact of monster Hurricane Dorian last September, coupled with the onset of the approaching hurricane season on June 1st. And beginning today, persons wanting to head to the islands that have resumed commercial activity can register at COVID-19 travel at bahamas.gov.bs. The registration process includes submitting an evaluation completed by an authorized public or private physician. That evaluation would include a risk assessment questionnaire to determine the individual's level of risk for COVID-19. Now, once cleared, each traveler must present an official government ID along with the COVID-19 travel authorization card. Now, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, has defended his decision not to allow Exuma and Eleuthera to resume commercial business, as 4 other family islands were allowed to do this week. Prime Minister Minnis told ZNS News today that the government is monitoring islands segmentally and that the capacity of health officials to transport patients to New Providence is being taken into account. More than 50 persons booked for Saturday's repatriation flight to Grand Bahama. That flight would be the second of two flights from Florida to return Bahamians home after being stuck in Florida when the borders closed due to COVID-19. Now, the first flight out of Fort Lauderdale this week is due to arrive in New Providence tomorrow. Hundreds of Bahamians and residents remain abroad and are seeking to return home. Those boarding the Bahamas Air flights must show the results of a mandatory COVID-19 test taken at an accredited certified testing facility within 10 days of travel. The results must be negative and sent to the Ministry of Health and Bahamas Air 48 hours in advance to email addresses covid19@bahamas.gov.bs or covid19travel@bahamas.gov. The Disaster Reconstruction Authority announcing that the service of remembrance for the victims of Hurricane Dorian, which was previously postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, will take place on Friday, May 22nd at 10 a.m. Now, yesterday, the Abaco Christian Council expressed opposition to the new date, but it seems they have had a change of heart. President Pastor Egbert Tinker explains.
The reason the council decided to change its mind and work with the government in this process and get these bodies in the ground is because we think the time has long passed and it should have been done a long time ago. And so we just going to do the right thing as Christians. It's our duty to make sure we speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. And these victims can't speak for themselves, so we are the ones who are alive have to speak for them and make sure they are done right.
Now, the service and burial will take place at the public cemetery on SC Boodle Highway in Central Pines. Pastor Tinker says there will be 4 sets of ministers from all the denominations represented on Abaco who will lead the service with an assistant minister.
We're going to inter and we're going to give those of the family and the loved ones who've come a chance to view from a distance, practicing social distancing, everybody have to have a mask, and all of that good stuff we're going to be doing. And so after the family would have seen the casket on the mount, we'll then lower the casket, and then we will then inter the bodies into the earth. I also want to say I realize that this is going to be a rough time for some folk because they can't be here to witness it or to even take part in it. But our prayers and our thoughts are with them, and we know that the God of all comfort will comfort them in this time of bereavement.
Now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing that you may abound in hope